today is all about specialized structure of plants. So next, specialized structure of plants, plant adaptation to their environment. Plants cannot move from one place to place the way animals can. That is why is it important for plants to be in environment most appropriate for them. Adaptive behaviors of plants. Distinct behavior for adapting to change or varying environment conditions depending on sunlight, water, temperature, and soil type. Special structure of the plants. So it has two branches, which is A. The one is plant adaptation to their environment, which is it has two. One is terrestrial plants, and second one is aquatic plants. So in terrestrial plants, there are two different desert plants and forest plant. So one, what is terrestrial plants? Tropical rainforest plants grows rapidly and make use of organic materials coming from decomposing plants and animals. Epiphytes, smaller plants may grow on the branches of these trees to take advantage of the available sunlight. So these are the pictures of uh, terrestrial plants, the tropical rainforest that we can find in the Philippines. So these are the epiphytes. So the one is fern. The second picture is fern, and the last picture is the mosses. Adaptation of forest plants. So these are the adaptation. One is climbing or clinging plants to reach for sunlight. Long sturdy trunks of trees with thick barks. Shallow roots to capture the most nutrients from the soil. Drip tips and waxy surface of leaves to help shed excess water. So example of these forest plants, rattan palm, walking palm, rubber tree. So the next adaptation to its environment is desert plants. It have it has the thick leaves and stems for storing water. Many deserts are very hot, but they can be quite cool, especially at night. The waxy coating on leaves help retain water for long periods. So example of this is Thompson yucca, teddy bear, cola, century plant and hedge, Europeania, Arizona hedgehog. So as you may see in the picture, these are the things that we know for this. Okay. Okay. Next. So these are the adaptation. So these are the adaptation of the plants. So first is thick waxy stems in succulent plants like the cacti help store water. Next is long roots spread out wide and deep to absorb water. Second one is the thorns of spine for protection from plants and animals which eat plants. Some plants achieve photosynthesis in the top of layer of their green stem. And lastly, some plants are short and grows slowly so as to not lose much water. Next, aquatic plants. So aquatic plants, it have broad, flat leaves adapted for getting enough sunlight. They also have the long fusible stems with enlarged air spaces that allow them to float. These stems enable them to move with the water current. So these are the examples of aquatic plants. So we have microsword, the Amazon sword, the Java fern, the red robin, Madagascar lace bulb, and lots more. So also water lily is an example of aquatic plant. So these are the adaptation of aquatic plants. First is their hair-like root system which hold the plants or allow it to move. Next is they are long, flexible, stem aid, and flotation as you may see in water lily. Broad, flat leaves to get enough sunlight and protect the plants from damage when the water overflows. Waxy leaves that minimize evaporation of moisture and saturation. Easy transportation of seeds or plants or like flowers that float, move with the wind, or attach to the birds and insects. So these are the second branch of plant adaptation or this special structure of the plants. So the second one is the adaptative behaviors of the plants. So what is this? It has a distinct behavior for adapting to changing or varying environmental condition depending on sunlight, water, temperature, and soil type. So these are the main things or the main ingredient to make the plant food. Okay. So what is tropism? So tropism is the plant behavior in response to stimuli or elements in the environment. So auxin is a plant hormone, and we have two kinds of tropism. First is the positive tropism, when the movement is toward stimulus. Next is negative tropism, when the movement is up and away from stimulus. And so these are the kinds of tropism or that so these are the types, the two types, and these are the kinds. So we have gravitropism, pygmotropism, phototropism, heliotropism, and hydrotropism. So let's have first the phototropism. So what is phototropism? It is a growth response of the plants to light coming from one direction. So as you may see the picture, so this is the plants and this is the sunlight. So blue light causes the auxin to move to the shaded side of stem, causing cells to elongate more rapidly. So another example is you may see the sun here, and then these are the plants. Okay. Next, grapetropism. What is grapetropism or geotropism? It is a movement of growth in response to gravity. So due to gravitism, roots are more likely to get water and minerals and stem, and leaves are able to get light for photosynthesis. So as you may see, this is geotropism because this is positive. So this is happens towards the stimuli, and then negative geotropism is away from the stimuli. By the way, this is the stimuli. This is the environment itself. So it is away. Okay? In Tagalog, pausbong. Okay? Next. So, stigmatropism. What is stigmatropism? So, stigmatropism, it is a growth or response of plants to touch. Okay, so it is often long lasting and allows plants to climb objects to get light for photosynthesis. So, tendrils. Tendrils is the curly type or the spiral direction to prior to touching an object. So, one of the best example of this is in fruit is grapes. Okay, and then in vegetable is ampalaya. Okay, next. So hydrotropism. Hydrotropism is a growth response of plants to water. So roots grow towards wet areas of soil. So hydrotropism, as you may see, this is a regular roots. Roots goes with straight. But this one is dry soil. So if we have a dry soil here, and then it has no such water. Therefore, the root system of a plant uh, will search for the water and roots grow towards the water. So, shimishi is just slam, sometimes in the pond. Okay. Next, the last kind of tropism is heliotropism. It is also known as solar tractor. One of the best example of this is sunflower because if there is no sun, the flower of the sunflower is lying down. So you may see it is growth response to the direction of the sun. If the sun is in on the south, therefore the in the east, therefore the sunflower facing to east. When the sun is came from the west, therefore the flowers in sunflower will face into the west. So remember, plants have special structures and behavior. which enable them to adapt to varying environmental conditions as sunlight, water, temperature, and soil type. So these are the importance of the plants for making food. So for that, thank you and hope you learn more.